All right. Hello, my most amazing artist. Today we are going to talk about drawing portraits. So I'm going to be using a picture that I have on my laptop. I have my laptop up right here. I know that you guys can't see that, but that's okay. So I want you to find a picture of yourself that is a close-up, and I don't want you to smile. I don't want you to frown, but I want you to just have like a relaxed face and no teeth, because teeth are extra. So we're gonna start with a simple face. Okay, so make sure that your face is straight on, that you're just looking into the camera with a relaxed face. And so that's how you're gonna start. If you want, you can take a picture with your laptop and just have it on your laptop to look at. That's what I'm doing. If you have like a school picture that you want to use, you could use a school picture, but it needs to be a nice big picture. I don't want you working from a little tiny face that's like the size of a dime or even a quarter. It needs to be a nice big picture. So what I'm going to do is I am going to start with an oval shape. Now notice how I am keeping my pencil lines nice and light. Okay, because that's so I can go back and erase later if I want to. Okay, so I have my oval. Notice I have several lines here because I'm not trying to get it perfect. This gives me some movement in my picture and also some choices for later on whenever I'm deciding about measurements. So I'm going to split this down the middle with a vertical line. Okay, and I might have to draw a little bit darker. You guys, I want you drawing as light as you can. I just might have to draw darker because of the, so that you guys can see it on the video. Okay, so now I'm going to draw a line that goes straight across. For those of you that did the Loomis worksheet where we practiced faces, that was just kind of like a warm-up to get you ready for this, okay? So I've got a vertical line that splits the oval in half, and I've got a horizontal line that splits the oval in half. I'm eyeballing it, okay? I'm not trying to make it exact. If you want to try to make it exact, I'm going to use a different pencil here so you can see. All right. Put your pencil on the line, use your thumb and your finger to mark where the top is, then put your thumb there, and then your pencil should hit close to the bottom, which I've got it pretty close. So I've gotten pretty good at eyeballing this over the years, so I want you guys to practice doing that. If that's as far as you get, that is okay. Just practice doing a bunch of those, because it's excellent work for what we're going to do. Now I'm going to take this part, this is our eyebrow, or our eye line. I'm going to take this part and I'm going to cut it in half. Now look, you're already starting to see a face, aren't you? Your eyes, your nose. And now I'm going to drop that down a little bit and I'm going to make my lip line. Okay, so this is our mapping out of our face to give us an idea of where our facial features need to go. Now, I'm going to estimate that my eyes are going to be about right here. So this is the inside of the eye and the outside of the eye. Now I'm going to take that over here. And actually, I'm kind of far away from that middle line. So I'm going to move my line right there. Okay, so this space right here should be equal or close to this space right here. And your eyes generally are close to the same size. So if you want to measure, you can take it. I want you to eyeball it first, but if you feel like it doesn't look right, then measure there. Now I'm moving that down. So my line could be over a little bit. Right there. Okay. And if I take that same measurement and I go right there, so that should be the outside of my other eye. So I can go back in and erase these lines that I decided not to use. All right. So now I have these spaces right here that are all equal. Those are going to be the inside of my eye, the outside of my eye. Okay. I'm going to look at my picture. And this is why we did the blind contour drawing before we left, because it was practice in looking. So when you draw your eye, I want you to follow that upper lid and do whatever it does. So if that line goes up, I want you to go up. And as soon as it starts to come over and down, I want you to go over and down. Okay, so that is roughly the shape of the top of my eye. Now I'm going to add my iris. It's okay if it's not exactly round. Most irises are not exactly round. I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to do the top of my other eye. It goes up and then it starts to come around, and everybody's going to have a different shape. So everybody should look different because that's what makes us look different. It's the actual shapes of the things that are on our face. Okay, so that's just to get us started. So I'm looking at my nose line. You don't have to draw the line all the way down because sometimes it kind of disappears. Now, I kind of have a V shape at the bottom of my nose. And my nostrils are easy to see. Everybody's nostrils are positioned differently, so you may not be easy to see. If it's not easy to see, don't make them easy to see. And then I'm going around the outside of my nostril. I'm going to go over my outside of my nostril over here. And I have this little spot right here that comes down, and that is called a philtrum. Getting a little bit of anatomy lesson in here. Now, look at the top of your lip. What does the top of your lip do? Some people are going to have a straight line across. I have a heart shape at the top of mine. And the lips tend to end. You can look at your photo and kind of look and see. So at the middle of your iris, if you drop a line down, that's approximately where your lips should end. So my lip is going to go all the way over here. And I want you to pay attention to the shape of that line. If your lip goes down, make it go down. If it goes up, make it go up. If it goes straight across, make it do that. Now, I want you to pay attention to the thickness of your top lip compared to the thickness of your bottom lip. Is your top lip thinner than your bottom lip? Or is it the same size? Or is it thicker? Mine are about the same size, so I'm going to make them close to the same size. I can always go back and change that later. And is your lip fatter here than it is here? Or is it fat all the way across? You have to make those decisions. You decide, what is it? Pay attention. What is it that you see there? Okay. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at how high up. Oh, do your eyelids have a crease above them? I can see the top of my eyelid. Not everybody can do that. Some of them disappear when you open your eyes, just depending on how your eyes are made. And from the top of that, I want to guess about, I want to look how close is my eyebrow to that eye right there, because that's going to help determine if your picture looks like you or not. You don't think the eyebrows would make that big of a difference, but they make a huge difference. And mine are really light. So, and yours might be thick. They might not be. I'm going to go over here, and I'm keeping them nice and light. Look at, where does your eyebrow start compared to the inside of your eye? Does it come in further? Does it go out further? Or is it right above it? And then again, how close is it to the top of your eye? So, and what shape does it make? Is it more straight? Is it curved? Everybody's eyebrows are shaped differently. All right. The next thing I want to do is I want to go up and look at my hairline. My hairline is up here, and I have a widow's peak. So what kind of hairline do you have? This is important, again, for getting a likeness, making it look like you. My widow's peak means that it comes to a point here on my forehead. And, you know, Mrs. Collie has crazy hair. So I'm just going to draw the shape of my hair. I'm getting the general shape. One side is generally fluffier than the other side. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I make sure that I get my widow's peak, and I have my hair that's coming down here. Okay, and then on the other side, I'm going to get the shape, because I don't have hair that comes down in front of my forehead, so I'm going to get the shape of my forehead. It comes down. For me, my skull goes in a little bit here at my eye, and then it comes back out, and then it goes down. Remember, I'm watching how the lines of my face move, and then I'm going to look at how far below my lips before my chin starts to come in. And see, this right here, area right here, I can look at it and tell that that is too little of a chin for me, because you know Mrs. Collie has a nice long chin. So I'm going to move my line down here. I'm going to make my face go down here. So it's going to come out here, and it's okay if you keep it sketchy, just as long as it's light, so that you can go back and you can erase those lines later. Now I'm going to come back up here to the top of my hair, and I'm only going to do the general shape of my hair. So you know, I said I have one side that's more fluffy than the other. I'm going to look at where on my face does my neck start. Do I have a wider neck or a skinnier neck? So now we can start. I've got my basic shape of my face, and I can start adding details. So I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to draw this. I kind of have like a wave on the top of my hair. And I'm going to draw that, and I even still struggle with drawing hair. So it's okay if you struggle. I get ideas for how to draw hair from places like comic books and other art, and see how other people have dealt with it. Because you don't need to put every single line of hair in there. You could look for some big shapes in your hair and just draw those lines. Okay, so I'm going to come back to the hair a little bit later. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to start with my eyes. So I see a highlight right here. I'm going to put that right there, because that's going to stay white. Because highlights are the light reflecting, so I want that to stay white. And then I'm going to put in my pupil. That's the black dot in the middle of your eye. You might not want to color that in until you're sure you've got it where you want it. It works. If you can get them close to the same size, that's good. Alright. Now I'm going to go in, and I'm going to make that little red part of my eye. I think it's called the carbuncle. And I'm going to add the bottom. I might not draw the whole bottom. As an artist, you get to decide if you want to do the whole thing or not. And sometimes you can just make it lighter or darker. Now, back down here to this nose. So I have I can tell from the shadow that I have this part that comes around. And I kind of have a little bit of a rounder nose than that. So I'm going to make it round right there. And I have some shadow under my nose, so I might go ahead and do that. And I think I gave myself too round of a nose. I'm going to look at these lips. Did I make them the shape that they're supposed to be? I have like a little shadow down there. See how my picture is nice? My lips are nice and relaxed. I'm not showing my teeth. And I kind of have thin lips. So I gave my lips my lips are a little bit too big. So I'm going to make them thinner, because that's going to help it look more like me. So that's why I'm drawing light, so that I can go back and erase. Okay. Now I have a little shadow under here from the way that my lips are shaped. I'm going to draw that. And then I'm going to come down here and really look at the shape of the outside of my face. I think it needs to be a little bit more rounded. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to come over here and look at the shape of this one. And make it a little bit more rounded. Okay. Now I can go back and I can erase these lines, or I can leave them, because some artists like the way that they look. I need to go in and darken my eyebrows a little bit. I'm not going to make mine really dark because I don't have really dark eyebrows. Sometimes they just kind of look like they're disappearing because I don't have a lot of hair there and it's kind of light. But if you have dark eyebrows, then you should do that. And those are a little bit fat for me. So make them a little bit lighter and a little bit thinner. Now look at the color of your eyes. I have like light brown eyes, so I'm going to give them some color. I'm going to emphasize the outside of that line. And then I'm going to come over here. I'm going to emphasize the outside of this one. And I'm going to shade it a little bit. So I'm still doing light lines. Now, I can go back and make sure that my lines are the right shape for my eyes. And I can start changing them if I want to. Make sure you're looking. Now, this top lip is usually darker than the bottom lip because of the way that it's angled. So it's in shadow and then your top lip catches the light. I still think that maybe I need to be a little bit rounder down here, so I'm going to go back and round that out. You might have more angles in your face. So maybe you want to erase these. You don't have to, but you can. Just depends on what you like. Make sure you give yourself a neck, and it's always good to give yourself shoulders and some clothes. And you don't want to put a lot of detail in there unless you're going to do a lot, unless you just really want to do a lot of detail. Just giving the idea that it's down there. Okay? So you can go back and darken anything that you want to darken. The darkest spots on your body, on your face, I guess I should say. Your nose, your nostrils, your pupils, and this line right here. Those are the darkest places on your face. So if you want to emphasize those, that will help give life to your drawing. All right, so now I want to go back and maybe do some lines for my hair. Okay, so again, I'm not doing all the lines, I'm just doing some of the lines. And I think I need to make my forehead a little bit wider. And maybe not come in so much there. So I'm keeping it light so I can change it at any point. So that is your basics. I'm gonna go ahead and of drawing a portrait. Okay, let me know if you need, if you don't understand something. Okay, if you want to do, maybe next time we'll do some shading, some more shading. If you want to color it, you can, but I want you to practice doing those portraits and getting a likeness. I can't wait to see what you guys do.